my channel. My name is Soumya. So in today's video, I'll be performing this lab, Cloud IAM Quick Start. So let's start with the lab. Click on this Cloud IAM Quick Start. So this is a 45 minutes lab. So in this lab, we'll be setting up users, IAM roles and permissions to the project. IAM is nothing but Identity and Access Management Service offered by Google Cloud. So using IAM, we can create and manage permissions for Google Cloud resources. So we can control what kind of permissions we can provide to users for different cloud services using IAM. So in this specific lab, we will learn how to assign a role to the user and how to remove the assigned rules from the user. We will also see how we can grant and revoke permission for Google Cloud Project owner and viewer roles. So without wasting any time, let's start the lab. So you can click on Start Lab. So once we start the lab, here we can see there are two usernames, username 1 and username 2, and the password will be same for both of these usernames. And this is a GCP project ID, and here you can see the open Google Cloud Console. So when we start the lab, a temporary environment gets created with the users and the project ID created for your use for this lab purpose. In this lab, we will get two usernames. This is to illustrate how the IAM policies and what kind of permissions are available for specific roles. So if we have two users, we can identify the difference between two users and what kind of permissions they have. Let's open this Google Cloud Console, copy this username, and let's log in with the username 1. Ensure you log in with your student ID and password. So this is a temporary credential which gets created only for this lab purpose. So only this student ID will have access to the resources. Now we have logged into the Google Cloud Console. Let's go back. Now again, let's log into the Google Cloud Console using the second username. So open this in a new tab. Provide the second username and the password will be the same. So copy the password and provide you. So now we have logged into the Google Cloud Console as a second user. So if you want to see which username you have logged in, so if we go back here, you can over on this. So here you can see the user account name. And if we come here, so here you can see the account name. So this way you can verify it in which username you have logged in. Let's go back to console 1. So here we have logged in as a student username 1. So let's check what kind of permissions and roles are assigned to this user. So here click on IAM and admin dashboard. So when you click on IAM and admin, it will take you to the IAM and admin dashboard here. We are under permissions tab here. So if you scroll down here, this is the student username 1, and this username is having app engine admin, BigQuery admin, editor, owner, viewer. So these are the roles which are assigned to this specific user. Scroll up here. If you click on grant access, since this username is having a owner permission, we'll be able to provide an access here. We can add a new principals. So you can create a new principal, assign roles. So if you click on assign roles, select the basic. So there are 4 roles here: browser, editor, owner, viewer, right? So if we go back here, so these are primitive roles in Google Cloud. So these roles at project level permissions, they control access and management to all the Google Cloud services. When you set this roles or viewer, you will be providing a read-only permission to the user. So you can only view the resources. You will not be in a position to edit or modify any of the resources or the data. And if you provide the roles for /editor, when you provide this permission to a user, you will also provide a modify access. So using the editor role, you will be able to modify the existing resources. Along with the read access, you will be providing the write access as well. Roles are followed by the owner. So when you assign owner role to the user, you will be providing these permissions. So manage roles and permissions for project and all resources within the project, set up billing for a project. So all these actions you can perform with the owner role. Whereas browser role, you can read access to browse the hierarchy for a project. So you can just view the folder organization and cloud IAM policy, and you will not be in a position to view resources in the project. When I say resources in the project, so project can contain VM instances or the storage buckets, so you will not be able to view all these resources. So if you just have a browser permission, whereas using a owner permission, you will be having a control over the project and all the resources which are inside that project. So you will be having a permission to set the billing as well for the project. You can click on cancel. Now let's switch back to username 2. So this is a username 2 tab. Let's go to IAM and admin. So this is the student username 2, and this ID is having only the viewer permission. So here you can see this is grayed out, grant access. You will not be in a position to use this. So you cannot assign roles or permissions to any other user. Whereas username 1 is having this permission. So you can click on grant access and add a new principal here. But whereas since this username 2 is just having a viewer permission, you can just view the resources. You will not be in a position to do any modification to the resources. So let's go back. Now let's prepare resource for access testing. So let's go back to this console. Let's create a bucket here. We will create a cloud storage bucket with a unique name. So cloud storage here, click on create. Here you can provide any global unique name to your bucket. So you have to ensure that it is unique. Click on continue and keep the location type as multi-region. Click on continue and create. Click on confirm. So this will create a bucket now. Now the bucket is created. Let's go back. So next we will be uploading a sample file. So let's go back to this bucket. So we are under bucket. So here click on upload files. So we will be uploading a sample text file here. So I uploaded a sample text file. So ensure that you provide a name this way, rename the file sample.txt. So you can browse your computer and find any sample file and you upload that file and then rename that file to sample.txt. Click on check my progress and this should be complete since I have uploaded a file to the bucket. Next, let's verify project viewer access. Now we need to switch back to username 2. I'm in username 2. So let's go to cloud storage here. Since this user is having a view access, you should be able to view the files in the bucket. So let's verify that. You can close all this. With this username, I'm able to see this bucket. So if I go inside the bucket, so I can see this file. So I can view. So this particular user is having a view access. So let's go back. So that we have verified. Next, we will remove the project access to username 2. So under this task, we will be doing that. So let's head back to Cloud Console as a student username 1. Go to IAM and admin. So here we have this, right? So we'll be removing this student user. So we click on remove access. Select that username and click on remove access. This will remove that ID. So now you can see that student username 2 doesn't exist here. Let's verify. So now we are back to Cloud Console 2 as username 2. So now you can see when I refresh this, the changes have been propagated and now it's reflecting here. Additional permissions required to list buckets in this project. Ask a project owner to grant you storage bucket.list permission. So means we have removed viewer permission for this student ID. Now he is not able to view the buckets. Now the username 2 has lost access. So you can click on check my progress and this should be complete now. Now let's move ahead with the add storage permission. So we will be providing a storage permission for username 2. Whatever permission we have removed, we will assign back this permission to username 2. So let's copy this username 2. Let's go back to IAM and admin. So as username 1 only, we will be able to grant access. So let's click on grant access here. So this is a student ID, username 2. So under new principal, I'm adding his name. Select a role here. Click on cloud storage here. You need to select storage object viewer. Click on save. So now it's updating the policy. Now you can see this student username 2. This username 2 is having a storage object viewer role. So now let's verify this access. So let's refresh this page. Still is not able to see here. The reason is this user is not having a project viewer role. That's why he's not able to see any of the resources, even the files inside the bucket. So let's view this. Since he is having cloud storage object viewer role, he can access these files from the command line interface. So let's activate the cloud shell here as a username 2. Click on continue. Let's execute this command gsctl lsgs. So let's copy this. When we execute this command, it will list the files. So now we are getting this output. And if you get this access denied exception, you need to wait for a minute and again run the previous command. So you can click on check my progress. This should be complete now. We have added the storage permission. I hope you understood the difference. In the remove project access, we have removed the project access. Before he had a project viewer permission, we have removed that permission and we have just assigned a storage object viewer role. That's why he's able to list only the files which are located inside the bucket. So in the cloud console, you will not be able to view that files in the storage bucket since he is not having the project viewer role, but instead is having storage object viewer role. So you will be able to access those files from the command line interface. So this is complete now. I hope you understood this lab. So whatever task I have performed in this lab, I hope you got a complete understanding about it. Once done, you can click on end lab and this should be complete now. We have completed all the tasks in this lab. So once we complete all the tasks in this lab, so we'll get a score here. So this is a scorecard. Since I ended this lab, now it is showing it as nil. So once you complete all the tasks in this lab, you will get 100 out of 100. And then this lab will be marked as complete. So if we go back, so this lab is part of this quest. So this is the second lab in the quest. I completed this lab. So you can check out my previous video on cloud storage. Please stay tuned to my YouTube channel. I'll be completing all other labs as part of this quest and uploading in the next video. If you found my video helpful, please like and subscribe to my channel and don't forget to leave a comment. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next video.